complete first date guide from open to pull, step by step. If you're somebody who tends to have trouble with first dates, that means you don't quite know where to take it, you don't know what to say, what to do. It's kind of a little bit of a question mark. Or if you feel like you very rarely get to the second date, it's because you don't know what we're talking about today. So today we're explaining exactly how to run your perfect first date. So it's completely foolproof, framework, step-by-step guide. So strap in and let's go. If you feel like you're getting value out of this video, I want you to, and of course, if you want to dive deeper into first dates and everything else, I want you to go down to the description below, grab the link. It will get you straight to our community where you will find all the tools and everything else that you need to start attracting super awesome, amazing, high quality women. And with that said, today we're talking about first dates. Number one, we're going to dive a little bit, just like dip our toes into the psychology of the first date. And then I'm going to give you a rough outline or an exact outline of a rigid structure of how to run your first date. You can veer off that. You don't have to do as I say, but if you do that, it's going to eliminate the X factor. It's going to eliminate a lot of mistakes. So if you're more of a beginner, I suggest you stick with the structure. Okay, so first dates. Her own psychology, first of all, the girl's psychology. The one thing that the girl wants is to see, and when I say see, I mean like emotionally, experientially feel what it feels like to be in a relationship with you. She wants to know if she wants to see you again past that. That's why she's coming. Okay, she wants to experience what it is to be in her bubble. She wants to feel what it feels like to be led into a relationship by you. She wants to feel your leading. That's what she wants. That's why she's there. And on a second level, she's hoping that you can unlock one by one 3 different levels of her. So the first one is, as she's coming, she's hoping that you're going to make her feel comfortable around you. Once that's unlocked, once she does feel comfortable, she's going to hope that she can relax and let go and trust you and be herself and like you around you. And once that's established, she's going to hope that you can arouse her emotionally, you can arouse her sexually. She's going to hope for that, okay? Now, your perspective, super important. And I see this mistake everywhere. A lot of people make it, especially beginners. You're going to the date to try and make the girl like you. This is the worst thing you can do, the worst mindset to come at this with, because that's the one thing that's going to guarantee that the girl is probably not going to like you. The way to fix this is here. Is she a good fit? That's what you want to figure out at the date. Exactly like she's coming to see what it is to be in your bubble. You want to find out if she should be in your bubble, if she's the type of person that you want in your bubble. Okay. And we're going to see how to do that. But if you're thinking, I'm going to this date to figure out if I like this girl, you're already coming at this with the right mindset. Okay. The second thing I want you to do is be a man. And that's something that you should do at the date and off the date and the rest of your life. You should be a man. That means, and of course, with training, that becomes a lot easier to not have to think of. But what that means is take responsibility, be a leader, be dominant, okay? Build rapport, be authentic. Just be in charge and be responsible. That is the whole frame. You need to be a man. And finally, last but not least, you need to enjoy yourself and make sure that she enjoys herself as well. But in that order. Okay, this is so important. That means when you go on a date, you create your own adventure. You go to the venues that you like, okay? You go, because that's what she wants to see as well. She wants to see what it is to be in your world. And you go to what you want to go to. You go to what you like. You go to whatever experience you feel is going to make you happy. And because you're leading her, if you're happy, she's going to be happy, okay? And I want you to also be authentic. I want you to not try to put on a persona or try to pretend to be somebody that you're not. Because the more you do that, especially in a one-on-one setting, all of the girls will know that you're doing it and they're not going to like you. And if you are yourself, the girls that are not meant or supposed to like you, they're going to fall off. But the girls that are supposed to like you, dude, they're gonna love you. Okay, so be a lot more of who you are. Now, the first location, okay, it should be some sort of a high energy bar. Maybe like a sports bar, a wine bar, or some kind of pub. Okay, this is what we're aiming for. And either you pick her up and you guys go together, or you meet her there. If you meet her there, make sure to be there first. Okay, always, in every case, just walk in first, even if you're walking together. And like, I don't want to hear any of the fucking chivalry dictates that you open the door for the girl and then you walk in second. Even in this instance, like etiquette dictates that in an unknown room, the man is supposed to walk in first. So always walk in first. And that proactive mindset goes for everything. You need to, first of all, give her a hug as she comes at you, as you meet her. Doesn't matter if you pick her up or if you meet at the bar. Give her a hug. Okay, like a real hug, not like an ass out hug, like a real, like as if you guys had known each other forever. That kind of hug. And I also want you to, after you walk in first, always be proactive about, walking in first, walking out first. Also choose the seats. And you're going to choose a seating arrangement that has you guys sitting next to each other, not across from each other. Okay, that's going to make it a lot easier to be able to establish physical contact, to be closer to each other, even figuratively. Like if you're closer to each other literally, it brings you closer to each other figuratively as well. And I want you to also be proactive with the staff, greet them first, be the one that is responsible for ordering, for bringing the waiter over. All of that stuff is so important. And I want you to also ask her what she wants and then order it for her when the waiter comes. Okay. Now, that's number one. And generally, show your social ability. That's kind of the reason why we're going to a high energy bar first. Because there's going to be other people there. You're going to be proactive with them as well. You're going to showcase that you're a social guy. And that is so attractive because girls deduce a lot of shit about you from how you behave with other people. Okay. So all of this, like, I hope I'm creating an impression on you right now. All this is so important. So what do we need to do conversationally? I want you to put her in the qualification role because in a date, either you will put her in a qualification role or she's going to put you in a qualification role. What does this mean? This means that one person in the conversation is the one that asks the questions and has the power, therefore. And you want to be that person. The way to do that is to be responsible for the conversation. So there's 3 layers to that. Layer 1 and 2 are the layers that we're going to be using in the first location. Layer 1 and 2 is, layer 1 is, what are you up to today? What have you been up to? Like, this is how the conversation starts. Like, how's your day going? What did you do today? How did you did anything cool happen? That kind of a surface level conversation. You're going to ask the questions, but you're not going to wait for her to ask you questions back. Instead, again, you're going to be proactive about telling her about your day before she even has the chance to ask. That way, you're still in command, you're completely in control and command of the conversation, and that is super attractive. Okay. Next, once you feel like you can start exhausting the level 1, you're going to move into level 2, which is still what are you up to, but now it's not what are you up to today, it's rather what are you up to in life. Okay. This is where you're going to talk, we're going to actually get to know each other. So you're going to talk about your jobs, you're going to talk about your location, you're going to, you have the chance to talk about traveling, about free time and hobbies, you have the chance to talk about music and stuff like that. Again, be the one asking the questions and be the one that proactively volunteers the information about you before she gets the chance to ask questions herself. That way, again, you're leading the conversation. We love this, okay? Now, one very smart thing to do here is this. I want you to talk about cool things that can be excuses for both of you later if you want to go back to your place. For example, you can talk about your apartment. You can say, I have a great view. Or you can say, I got a really cool popcorn machine. Or you can say, I got a really cool shisha that I love to smoke. Or maybe you can talk about music. You can say, oh my God, you don't know this artist? I need to show you their music. They're fucking amazing. So conversationally, I think I got you covered. This is kind of like what we're doing in the first venue. And as a final note, or as a second to final note, I want you to mind your physical touch. Because at some point, if you guys are in a relationship, you're going to be touching each other. So at some point during the course of how you're getting to know each other, you need to break the touch barrier. You need to establish physical touch. And it's better done sooner than later. Okay, so a great way to do that is to look for a cool excuse to maybe place her hand in yours. Maybe you want to look at her nails and like the cool nails that she's got today. So make sure that you establish physical touch. But at the same time, we don't want this physical touch to be anything heavy or anything suggestive or anything like that. Okay, just like simple romantic physical touch. And finally, the last side note or the last note about location 1 is the bill. Okay, it was your idea to go on a date. That means you're taking care of the bill. And the best way to do that is to do that discreetly without her even noticing. So as you see, the whole date is a completely seamless experience for her with zero friction. So there's no like waiter coming and like waiter going and you guys have to wait. Instead, what you can do is go to the bathroom and as you're coming back, just take care of the bill. Okay, cool. Without her even ever noticing. Now, location 1 is done. Why do we want separate locations? Because if you have different types of experiences with a girl, then she experiences you in different types of environments, and that gives her more information about you, that gives her more experiences. And by the end of the night, you guys are going to be a lot closer than if you just, say, had only gone to one location. It's just like you've experienced more cool stuff together. Okay. Now, the way to move to location 2 is this. First of all, you need to find the perfect moment to do that. And the perfect moment is when you start getting bored of location 1. Maybe about an hour in or about an hour and a half in, when you've exhausted the first 2 layers of conversation. That's kind of like the perfect moment to establish that, okay, I'm bored. We're going to another location. By the way, up until now, she has no idea this is happening. So this is exciting for her. This is really cool. And the way that you can frame this is, guess where we're going next? Or something like, okay, like I'm taking charge and I'm presenting you with another cool idea and we're doing something cool together. Okay. So make sure that you do that before the energy kind of like dips. Keep things exciting. And also make sure that you lead. That means always be the first to walk, always be the first to be proactive, to take initiative, to move your body, to start walking somewhere, to get up. You're the first to do that, and you assume that she will follow, and she will. Okay, super easy. So, the conversation that you should hold while you're moving locations is just lightweight conversation. Like, we're already kind of going into the second layer in the first location, and it starts getting the conversation gets a little heavier. I want you to now bring this back up to the surface and talk about like really unimportant surface shit again to lighten the mood. Now, you arrive at location 2. Okay, the second location is going to be a lot more of a low-key location. It's going to be the lights are going to be dimmer. It might be some kind of lounge or like a rooftop, a more romantic location. Lower energy, just like a place where you can, a more discreet location, a more comfortable location, maybe a lounge, and, better vibes, slower music. We're talking about that kind of an environment. This is what your second location is going to be. And the first and second location and the road in between are going to be things that you have studied and arranged beforehand. So I don't want you scrambling like to figure out what the second location is going to be, or I don't want you scrambling to get an Uber to like figure out, like, all of this again has to be completely seamless because you are in fucking control. This is so important. Okay. Again, same rules apply. Be proactive about the stuff, order for her, be social, showcase who you are as a guy, and generally slow down. Okay. Conversation. This is layer 3 now. So layer 1 was what have you been up to today and what are you up to right now? Layer 2 is what are you up to generally in life? What's your job? Where do you live? What do you do in your spare time? And then layer 3 is why. Why do you do all that? Why do you exercise the profession that you practice? The reason why I want this is because now I want to go very deep into her motivations, her values, her boundaries. So things that really connect you guys. And the second location is a location that really helps with that connection, okay? So with that said, you can talk about values, relationships. Avoid talking about exes. I would not advise that. But you can talk about red flags. You can talk about love languages. You can talk about good memories. And all of that talk is going to bring you guys, again, a little bit closer, okay? And at the same time, you can go into more of a sexual vibe. So you can talk about tribal issues. So tattoos and piercings, or festivals, or music, or alcohol, things like that, sexual preferences, okay? With that comes escalation. So you've already established physical touch. You've already touched hands, or maybe you touch her knee. But now you can escalate a little bit more. You can go to, the kiss. Or you can, and if you want to know more about the kiss, I made a different video about that, so make sure to watch that. Or you can figure out how to, touch her in more of a, like, erogenous zones, like maybe the small of her back, her lower back, maybe her neck, but the key here is this. Do not arouse her past a certain point. I would not recommend that because this location is not the location where we're going to have sex if you guys want that. So if you arouse her past a certain point and then you guys don't have sex, it's going to be kind of a weird experience after the fact. And that's going to reinforce that she doesn't want to see you again. Okay. But if you guys have sex, that's going to reinforce kind of the opposite, provided that, it's a mutual and an awesome experience. So with that said, if you guys feel like you want to go home with each other, it's time to pull. It's time to lead her back to your place. But some girls will want to have sex with you and go back to your place, but it is easier to not have to be explicit about this. So this is the moment where you can reference the things that you were talking about in location number 1. About, the cool music that you want to show her, or the view that your place has, or the shisha that you guys can smoke together at yours. So if you have a good excuse to go back to your place, then you don't have to be explicit about what you guys are going to do there, okay? And obviously, I want you to keep leading. That is very important. Keep being the first to get up, the first to take initiative, the first to start walking, and be decisive about it. And finally, if she gives you the infamous, I'm not sleeping with you tonight, she's trying to now impose a frame on you. So, of course, you don't have to sleep with her, and she doesn't have to sleep. Of course, you don't have to sleep with her. She doesn't have to sleep with you tonight. But you're not going to allow her putting frames on you. You're going to put a frame back on her and tell her that, look, I'm not going to decide if I'm sleeping with you or not sleeping with you right now, because when I sleep with somebody, it is because it is something that we both want in the moment. And when people try to sleep with me or not sleep with me and kind of premeditate that really throws me off, and that really makes me not want to sleep with them ever. So how about I didn't hear what you just said, And if we don't want to sleep with each other, we don't sleep with each other. And if we both feel in the moment that we want to sleep with each other, we fucking are responsible as adults and we decide that we want to, and that's what we do. So that way you neither violate a boundary nor let her impose a frame on you. And that way you will absolutely fucking still keep the attraction that she has for you. Because if girls put boundaries on you and frames on you, sure, you're somebody that respects the frame, but at the same time, they lose attraction. So if you can do both at the same time, respect her boundary, but not lose attraction, that is the best way to go about it. So with that said, I will remind you about the community, and thank you for watching this video. Click like and click subscribe because I'm posting every day, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, see ya.